Let's talk about the millis function. It's pretty awesome. First thing you got to know though is there are 1,000 milliseconds in a second, just like there are 1,000 milliliters in a liter, or 1,000 millimeters in a meter, or anything else with milli. So yeah, there are 1,000 milliseconds in a second, and millis, just like this, just no parameters, just millis, bracket, bracket, returns the number of milliseconds it's been since the Arduino was turned on or reset. So right now I've made this kind of silly little program to just get you an idea for it. So it just starts talking to the computer and then prints what millis is returning. So if I go and hit the serial monitor, every time you do the serial monitor, it actually resets the board. So it should start counting from 0. And then we can see how it goes. So if you check it out, it's starting to count. It's been 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 4 seconds, 5 seconds, 6 seconds, 7 seconds. Yeah, so every 1,000 milliseconds is a second. So yeah, we're just constantly counting milliseconds. That's about it. That's all it does. Pretty useful for a lot of things if you use them certain ways. For this particular unit, we will mainly be using it to have something happen for the first so many seconds of the program. So if we go and check the light theremin code, it's got this line on line 8, while millis is less than 5,000. So if we want to check that out, what that would equal again, we can go back to the serial monitor and see at what times millis is less than 5,000. So we go back to it and I reset it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now it's beyond 5,000. So for the first 5 seconds like that, it is doing something, whatever is in the brackets. It's not really important for this, but yeah, from here to here, it just does it over and over again for the first 5 seconds, and then after the first 5 seconds, millis is like 6,000 and 7,000 and 8,000. Regardless, this condition becomes false. It will now be greater than 5,000 after the first 5 seconds. So yeah, it's great for that. Any time-dependent things. Before, a lot of our time, the only thing we've done really with time has been delay. And delay is great as long as you only need to check one thing at a time. But with millis is always happening in the background, like it's constantly keeping track of how much time has passed. So you can just pull millis and be like, hey, is it the right time yet? Is it the right time yet? You don't have to shut down the other things you're doing. So you can keep track of time passing and have it do something if it's gone past a certain amount of time, or it's been a certain amount of time since a previous event or whatever. And you could still be checking for button presses. You could be still reacting to light changes or whatever. So millis is great if you need something time sensitive to happen, but you still need it to do other things. Anyway, great command, just returns number of milliseconds since it was turned on. By the way, not really important for this unit, but millis does return a unit or a variable type called an unsigned long. Now, an unsigned long is really just an int. The unsigned word means it can't be negative because it's never going to be negative time since the Arduino was turned on or reset. And long, hopefully remember, is just an integer that can hold a bigger number. So it's set up that way so it can hold a really, really big number. As it is, it'll have overflow issues after about a month. So pretty good. Anyway, thanks for listening. I hope you found that useful.